And we are back for question number 2 of our list.
Which is, y'all heard of Demiplane?
Yeah, I've summoned many of them.
Oh.
Wow, you just said it 2 seconds ago before we started.
Yeah, I was expecting you all to
still
say
don't know.
no, so I could say no at the same time.
Oh.
Because I
But
already
you
knew the
heard of it.
answer.
That's why you
No.
wrote it down.
That is why I know about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
but I thought you said we all say no.
Well, both of you would say no because you've never heard about
Well,
it. Casey came up with a clever answer because he's smart.
I don't
fucking
I don't
know.
like this attempt at railroading.
That's what we need on a fucking button. Just over and over again.
If you want to bring Brap.
Bring Brad Brap.
Anytime.
Oh,
Bring him back, baby.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a competitor to Roll20.
Oh.
And it's,
okay. I think I have heard of them.
So it's partly a competitor to Roll20, and it's also a competitor to D&D Beyond.
Oh, competitor.
So it's competitor. Sorry. So it started with Pathfinder 2. Demiplane.
What would the difference be? Okay.
That's a good point. What a competitive? I mean, you're saying it wrong. What is the same general meaning?
Yeah, a competitor or competitive. That doesn't really change the context
game
much.
Type because it's is the game PvP.
Oh, okay. It's
Oh,
competitive.
like a competitive game.
Yes. My reasoning is perfect.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
My reasoning. My reasoning is perfect.
I understand your reasoning now, but
go on.
So, they started with Pathfinder. So Demiplane came to Paizo and was like, "Hey, we're doing this new thing. We'll put not only will you be able to do rooms that work like Roll20, have all the lighting, have all the tile sets, all of the everything, but you'll be able to buy Pathfinder books digitally and then use those rule sets in the game."
Okay.
So not only did they get Pathfinder 2, they also got World of Darkness. So Vampire and all of it will be, all the new versions of Vampire and Hunter and everything will be on Demiplane.
Okay.
So you can buy the digital rule books, use it like D&D Beyond, and then also use it like Roll20. And they've also got a couple of the ones. I think they did the Marvel one. They have an exclusive deal to do the Marvel one, the Marvel
No, they
RPG
had
that came out. Yeah, you probably didn't hear about it because it fucking sucks. But that's besides the point. It's gonna be a money mint anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't wait for the figures.
Yeah.
I might have actually seen them.
There's already a
Are there
billion
figures?
I'm pretty sure I've seen.
It's not that type of game, I didn't think.
Pretty sure. Well, it might be for something
if it's
else.
on Demiplane, that's true.
It might be like HeroClix era kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing that really, because that's the thing is, so far the only thing I've seen on Demiplane that actually requires use of a Roll20 like room is Pathfinder, because that's like Pathfinder is more is more than other games a grid based skirmish thing. We played Pathfinder for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It was fun. It's a good time.
Okay, so it's supposed to be literally a
like
roll
the second
20?
one. I mean, the second edition one. I mean, first edition of Pathfinder we played a ton of.
Yeah.
So it's a Roll20.
It's
Just competitor. That's
it's a Roll20 and D&D Beyond. It's a Roll20 competitor and a D&D Beyond like. So they're using the model for D&D Beyond so people can make their characters and get all the rules and all the books. But then they're also doing stuff like Roll20 does, where you can host a room.
Wow,
and
they're
have
gonna win
maps
out
and-
the gate because D&D Beyond is lazy as hell.
D&D Beyond's lazy. So is fucking Roll20.
Yeah.
The reason why they're going to win out the gate, and they know it, is because Roll20 and D&D Beyond are both like, well, there's nothing else like us, so
That
it's
anyone
not like you
knows
can do
about.
anything. Wizards is even developing their own competitor Roll20. I didn't know if you knew that. They're
You
currently
got your finger on the pulse, apparently.
I've been hearing it.
Yeah.
You know, RPG Twitter, it's blazing. Now that you say that, though, I'm not sure how accurate all of this is, but it does make sense. It makes sense for something like Wizards to be like, well, we're going to pour a bunch of resources into having a Roll20 competitor, and that everybody has to play D&D our thing.
They're gonna
Yeah.
take all the money after writing 5e books.
It made sense.
Pretty much,
It made
yeah.
sense back in the intro video for 4th edition,
Do you remember?
and then they
how
all just forgot.
it never
and
went
thought
anywhere.
We forgot.
D&D Insider was a thing for so long, and they were
That's
promising
true.
so many things, and they never went anywhere with it.
I remember D&D
ever.
Insider. Yeah.
God, I miss D&D 4th edition. Fuck.
Well, the people of it, because like Wizards of the Coast is now like literally enough, like stays up enough for people to care just enough.
I mean,
There's no fanfare with 5e now.
I know we've talked about before that the problem with like Hasbro is the fact that it's like, all right, we want the maximum profit, so we're gonna make it to where there's the smallest team possible working on D&D to pump out the largest amount of books.
Yeah.
And it's like
Every
huge
single one
fucking
that feels
shame.
like they're just disappointing. Yeah.
Because every single one of them is like literally a cash grab.
Yeah, like what?
You know?
Not Multiverse of Madness, but whatever the new multiverse book.
Yeah. Oh, Spelljammer?
No. Oh,
Spelljammer set looks cool.
Oh, no, yeah,
Spelljammer
no,
is going to
no.
be disappointing. You know how many pages Spelljammer is supposed to be?
How
Monsters
many?
of the Multiverse.
2 64-page books for all of Spelljammer.
No.
Yep.
Ben and I looked it up.
No.
We were like, wow, talk about really pissing off the fans.
Oh my fucking god.
2 64-pages books.
Yeah.
God.
That's it. The book he has for Frostmaiden, I think, is like 300 pages.
Frostmaiden is a cool. It's the best
It's been
adventure
fun.
since Out of the
Yeah,
Abyss.
it's been fun.
It's been
been
great.
good.
I read through
Ben's
a lot
been
of
running
it
it
because
great.
I was thinking I was gonna run it. And I didn't.
64.
But it's like,
Bare minimum. They're trying to do the bare minimum.
well,
of
it's crazy
Spelljammer.
because Eberron and Ravenloft got much bigger treatments.
they're written
Yeah.
by the people who wrote them, though. Like Eberron, I thought.
Yeah,
was written
Eberron
the
was
guy.
by Keith Baker, so there's a reason it has a lot more heart into it because Keith Baker did it.
What about Ravenloft?
Ravenloft also was collaborated with the original creator of Ravenloft.
Okay.
Yeah, he heavily collaborated with that.
But
So Spelljammer is just a fucking cash
is
shitty cash
written
grab.
as 2 64-page books.
God, Wizards deserves to go out of fucking business. The fact that they still have so much money while doing so little is like a shame. Honestly, I wonder how much of it comes over from subsidizing. You know what the ultimate goal is? Here I'm gonna put on my hat, my Oracle hat, and I'm gonna say here's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So they are with 5.5. They are heavily going to emphasize the whole make your own world, optimized for streaming. We don't
Optimized
ever
for
have to put
streaming.
any effort into a product again.
We agree with
except for all of the Magic the Gathering setting books they're going to make.
yeah,
That's going to be it.
Yeah,
it's
'cause
going to be core books, Magic the Gathering setting books. That's it. If they make a new Capenna book, I will run D&D 5th edition again because I've been getting back into Magic. Henzi Toolbox Hori, he's my Henzi Toolbox Hori, that is his name. Yeah. Toolbox is my commander, he's a cutie. I love him a lot. And I really like the whole
I love this
20s
cash grab from
fantasy
me,
shit.
not you.
They stole track marks from me. They stole it. They took it.
All right.
It was my idea.
yeah. Well, James Cameron's about to do that for me. So
The fuck are you talking about?
Avatar 2: The Way of Water. He's gonna take all the
He's
visual
Chris
stuff
Z's
and just
review.
like
Oh.
fulfill it.
How good do you think that's going to be?
Well, the thing is,
Visually impressive. No one's gonna remember the story.
Very
unless
true.
they actually took that criticism, because it was largely the only criticism of the first Avatar movie is this is amazing to watch. I don't care to watch it again because I don't care what happened.
It was
But
amazing
people
enough
did.
that people got like fucking. There was a whole depressive disorder based on the
Yeah.
fact that people wanted
It was
to
a
be.
beautiful
in-
movie, man.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
It was hell long though.
But then it's like the story was like Blue Pocahontas.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the story. Like it was
Dude,
Disney. It was
I
Disney's
remember
Pocahontas. but
watching
they're
it the first
blue.
time though. It is a masterpiece. Like I was really sucked in with it. But then I
Yeah?
watched it again when I had. You really love that.
I'm a simple man, Matt.
The only-
I'm a simple man.
The only time I was ever gonna have a girlfriend, which she like.
that was the only time.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I remember trying to watch it with her and finding I was not in the Netflix and chill kind of guy at the time.
Uh-huh.
I'm a completely different person now.
Yeah.
Not that it matters, but Avatar was the longest fucking movie to do, and I wish I was Netflix and chill because god damn it, that's like a 3.5 hour movie. To
Yeah.
finish.
That's a hell of a Netflix
It
and
was
chill
like
movie.
I was like, oh my god, we're only halfway through.
You kind of lean over to her, put your arm around her, and you whisper in her ear like, "Hey, you want to fuck with our hair?"
I was not.
How about you stuff your hair in me like
Dude,
you're doing
I
in
think-
the movie?
I think she at the time was probably hell yeah thinking that way.
Yeah.
I was a good old church boy. There's no way I was gonna
Hey,
do that.
You know what? When I saw Avatar, I also saw it with my girlfriend. And then I realized that was never going to happen after that.
But
so
at the theater, fantastic. I saw it with buddies, I'm sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I watched this like at her home where like no one has any good speakers. And
Oh, man.
So like everything's shaking for no reason. And boring as hell. And didn't take any signals because I really didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And really wish I was a different person now. If I was showing up and I would like, who the hell are you? I'm like, dude, get the fuck out.
Yeah, dude, move over.
Because that was boring.
Yeah.
Watching it the second time without being in theaters,
No, yeah.
boring.
We talked
Yeah,
about this
yeah.
like a week or two ago, and
We did.
I brought up like one of the best things you can do if you have an obligation of like, oh, I promise that I hang out with these people. If you want to get out of it, the best thing you can do is be like, hey guys, come on over. We're gonna watch Avatar. No one's gonna show up.
Holy fuck, you're right.
No one's gonna. No one wants to watch.
You got some,
Nobody
you got
wants to
some new
watch
speakers or
Avatar.
something? No, they're just the TV speakers.
No, I just really like Avatar.
So your TV's just gonna rattle.
I took the speakers that I plugged into my laptop and plugged them into
Dude.
the TV, and we're gonna watch it
Yeah,
that
exactly.
way. Yeah.
Like the most shaky, the coolest thing ever in a theater, but like it is the worst home DVD. Unless that brought about people buying
So,
like.
so
home
how good do you
series.
think Avatar 2 is gonna be?
if
visual masterpiece?
if they put effort into making more of an original story, it could be really successful. If they didn't,
Right.
no.
I'm gonna
Well, 'cause
enjoy.
I don't think it's gonna make as much money as the first one.
No.
I think it'll make a lot of money.
And
I
I
don't
think-
think it'll make as
We'll
much
see.
as the first.
The
one.
thing
knows?
is, them pulling off a story is more difficult because it's a sequel.
Right.
They're still tied down by
They don't have to
by
establish
what they.
as much though.
Yeah, that's the thing. The story didn't establish anything, so
It
I
didn't
guess
fucking
they're pretty
establish
free.
shit. Yeah.
It did.
It only established humans bad.
Yeah.
Like,
But you're from
humans
a different
very
place.
bad.
They go and salvage places. There's blue people. There's other blue people that don't like each other.
Yep.
That they have to get together because this tree full of religious blue people is going to get blown up. And if it gets blown up, something might happen.
Also,
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver's there.
Yeah, if the tree blows up, then everyone will die eventually.
I think it was
I don't.
like-
I don't know.
I don't actually know.
I think
Yeah.
that's like God would die or they would lose their connection.
It might. Yeah, it might have been something
I can't-
with their
I can't-
actual like biological magic.
I can't
that they
hair
were-
fuck my weird horse anymore. So
But that
Yeah,
was
that'd be a
those
shame.
guys.
Save the life
That'd
tree.
be a
Yeah.
damn right.
But the whole
shame.
thing was there's other tribes of blue people.
Yeah.
So that might have not affected the other blue people.
I
But
think
it
we are
affected that
also.
blue people.
Maybe they're going to show red people.
They're
for the same-
specifically going to bring
Well,
other
that
blue
would
people.
be.
No, I mean like actually.
They could. Well, it's supposed to be other blue people tribes
Yeah.
because the first movie alluded to that with the whole collection, but it's going to
Yeah.
be for sure. There's going to be way more about the other blue tribes.
I guess. Well, look at it this way. It's like for the same reason that like seeing Avatar in the theater is worth it, seeing it in TV is not. It's like, yeah, the story of Avatar was like enrapturing in the moment, then afterwards it's like I don't fucking
In a
remember
theater,
shit.
fine. Don't watch it in it.
But they've already confirmed up through Avatar 5.
Oh my god.
And it's like, what happens if Avatar 2 not even
How is Cameron
flops?
going to still be
What
alive?
happens if
He's doing it like every
Well,
decade.
the thing is
I think
that
they're
most
filming
of
it
it's
all, like,
the thing is
now.
most of it's already filmed. What takes so long is the editing, CGI, and production.
right? The
Cameron's
brilliant-
pretty much wiped his hands from it by now at this point.
He was
from
also
what I
waiting for the
understand.
technology to get to the point where he could do
Yes.
all the
They're like
CG
a
and
$1
stuff.
billion animation now.
Well, but all I'm saying is what happens if they're filming all concurrently? They're like, oh man, it made so much money, it's a sure bet. And then Avatar 2, not that it flops, but it doesn't make as much money as they think it'd do. What, then they just can all the rest of the films? I think it was really
They might.
bold of James Cameron to be Avatar up through 5. Because I heard that and I'm like,
Yeah.
I barely gave a shit about the first one. Barely. Like, I know a lot of people, it's like, yeah, a lot of people saw it. But it's like, you got a lot of competitors now. Like, you're not the only $1 billion movie out there. You know,
Well,
it's like,
For my own personal selfish reasons, I hope it tanks.
What? Why?
same. It'd be funny.
yeah.
It'd be very funny. It'd be
You
very
want it to
funny.
be Morbius?
Yeah.
I want it to be a.
No, I don't want it to be
Oh
Morbius
my
because
God.
that Morbius failed so well that Morbius will succeed from here on out in terms of any sequels and whatnot.
Did you hear about.
Yeah, I know about the rescreening. That's because it's the same damn movie. But
Right.
Morbius has failed to the point every Marvel movie is a test of citizenship for that hero to see whether they're going to be
citizenship.
yes, to see whether they're
Fuck.
going to be inducted into the grand universe of the movies going
Right,
forward.
but Morbius
That's
is
a
Sony.
good point.
Morbius failed so badly that they have no option but to embrace that and induct him
Well,
into
here's what's gonna happen
other
if
movies.
they do
No.
another Morbius film. And the trailer is like Jared Leto, like it's Morbin time, and then Back in Black kicks in as he like goes off. It is gonna tank. They're gonna make negative money. It's
If
gonna show
it-
box office negative $300.
I think if they
like,
embrace the meme to a Sonic level portion, it would be good. Because
I don't know.
Sonic 1 and 2, great. Sonic 2 is still good. I like Sonic 2.
Yeah, still haven't
But
seen.
Morbius,
Sonic 2 I heard was all right.
if they make a Morbius 2, I think it's going to take his.
I don't. That's the thing. I
That's
don't
the
think
first
there's
one.
not going to be a Morbius 2. There will be a
Okay.
Morbius in other Marvel movies.
Do you think it's going to be Jared Leto?
It could be.
I don't think that. Sony's pretty bad about making any superhero movies.
That's right. It's Sony.
It's Sony.
Yeah, but the thing
Why
is,
would you think it was so bad in the first place?
That's
Marvel
a good
knows what
point.
they're doing.
Yeah.
Because Love and Thunder's next week.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Actually, this week-
Patrick was talking about wanting to go see that.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in seeing
Looks
Love
good.
and
It's
Thunder.
Tycho. Whatever you think about superhero films, it's different.
yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun thing.
I like
experience.
Taika Waititi's stuff a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his stuff.
Especially after Gay Pirate movie.
I mean, his
Very
lore,
into Gay Pirate.
his
Yeah.
lore thing is
Film,
basically like
TV,
having
whatever.
a midlife crisis. As like, so it's a great like coming to something film.
Yeah.
It's coming of age, but that age is 50.
Right. And Thor's like an immortal god, but he has to deal with his ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
He was a painter until he was 30. He started
Taika Waititi?
He started directing real late.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looked it up and he goes, "Cool. I can take as long as I want."
Well, I'm not going to direct movies.
Why not?
I saw the last movie I saw was Black Phone.
Yeah, I saw that too.
What did you think of
Oh
it?
man,
Black
the
Phone?
soundtrack was awesome.
Music was
I
good.
really liked the music. I liked the movie too. Overall,
I did too. So here's my critique of the movie, which is entirely based on the fact that I know who wrote it.
Yeah.
So it feels like high budget Stephen King fan fiction
Yeah.
because Joe Hill, the guy who wrote the short story Black Phone, that's based on, is Stephen King's son.
Oh.
So I went in knowing that. I went in knowing that Joe Hill. I haven't read Black Phone, but I knew that he wrote the short story.
Yeah.
I think it was one of his earlier ones. So I went into it being like, all right, how much of callbacks to Daddy's work are we gonna have?
Yeah.
And the answer was a lot. The first part of the movie was grueling. I was sitting there. Me and my boyfriend saw it, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, uh-oh. Like, this is, man, it is barely treading water. So when Ethan Hawke comes out to kidnap the main character, I'm like, oh, thank God
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke's here.
Yeah,
oh,
certainly.
he could strap this fucking film to his back and
Is it
start
in Maine?
marching. It's in Colorado.
Yeah, it's in
So
Colorado.
it's either Maine, Colorado, or
Oh yeah, he did do something.
fucking yeah.
I don't
So
remember which one.
there are so many. There's even like a scene that is a direct It callback. Like there's a lot of stuff that you could just hear Joe Hill being like, "My dad got to have The Shining. I want to have The Shining now too."
Wow.
Overall, it was a good movie, but I found that there was parts of it because overall I thought it was great. I thought the scenes where it was Finn, the main character, and the grabber, just them,
Yeah.
were great because you could tell Ethan Hawke and the actor probably were like, all right, this is our scene. Here's how we want to do it. They probably workshopped because Ethan Hawke is an incredible actor.
Yeah.
So those scenes are incredible. The scenes where it's like literally just them. Everything else I could take or leave, but I thought overall it was a good film. I know that I know my experience was tainted by the fact that I know who wrote it.
Yeah.
So I was looking for,
Yeah.
my dad, Stephen King.
So you had the same experience?
Wow. Well, man, I mean, now I'm just wondering, gosh, Jonah Hill must be the real black sheep of the family then, huh?
Stephen King's son, Jonah Hill. I immediately thought of Superbad.
No,
What did you think about it?
I really like the fact supernatural movies. The supernatural aspect is almost always made as the antagonist. It was really cool narratively because there's only been a few other movies and stuff that I've seen where the supernatural isn't the antagonist. It's there for the support. It's
Yes.
there on the protagonist's side.
Which is awesome.
The premise.
Yeah.
The premise is awesome. And all the little escape attempts and things, I really like that too. Simply because it's just going. You're in a room with nothing. In a room with nothing, there's still quite a lot.
Right. Well, especially because you have all of the people who've iterated on it before.
Yeah.
What I really liked about the film is I love the last third of the film the most because I love how it's very escape room-esque where all the different clues and all the different stuff, it all comes together at the end.
Yeah.
But he hasn't done his iteration yet. So he gets all of that stuff together and is like, I'll do you one better. and then he uses his brains to put together his own
Yeah.
thing. And it was really cool
was good.
seeing everything come together.
I like, especially in terms of setting up for the audience, the school fight scene is really the most brutal thing in the entire movie.
It really is.
And that immediately that was so slightly uncomfortable to watch. That then sets you up as an audience to expect even more going
Right.
forward.
They didn't need to do anything violent after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It immediately I bought into what's
That's
the next
true.
horrible thing that's
they
happening.
only ever showed the aftermath of violent acts, and it was only a couple times that they really showed a gruesome aftermath.
Yeah.
They never showed, until the very end, they never really showed any violence, and it wasn't, compared even to the opening fight, it wasn't even that bad. Although his ankle snapping was pretty fucking brutal.
Oh yeah,
but,
that was yeah.
But it was good. I recommend it. I'm kind of at a, this is a movie review podcast now, but I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I don't know if seeing in theaters is really worth it, but if it's out on DVD or on TV, absolutely watch it. It was a lot of fun.
I saw it in theaters because it was something
Same.
to do.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself, but I don't think it's something you need to see in theaters.
Certainly not.
Dune was something you need to see in theaters.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
I was so ready for Dune Part 2, baby. What was the last movie you saw, Matt?
The only thing of merit was Everything All at Once.
Yeah.
I still haven't
Yeah.
fucking seen that. Don't talk about it.
Dude,
Oh, I need to see it
let
so
me
bad.
talk about it.
Me and my mom tried to watch it, and it wasn't on like rent yet. We had to pay like $20. And we're like,
Yeah.
Oh, we got it.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Could you hook me up? Could you send it my way?
Is
it on a Plex
I'd have
server?
to ask him.
Is it on a server?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
On,
Okay.
it's on the server.
And also,
Okay,
it stopped
okay.
in the last part when I was trying to cry.
how much wham
Trying
do I
to
need
cry.
for the server?
I mean, that movie makes you want to cry from the beginning.
Yeah, it was great because every time Matt was about to cry, it then buffered. So he completely had time to recover. And I'm like, damn you.
I want to cry from the beginning. 'Cause
Oh.
there's characterizations of what they do. Immediately, I'm like,
Watching it for the
Ow.
second time is more of a cry fest.
Oh,
Because
fuck.
you're ready for it.
I guess so. Yeah, because there's like stuff that hits you in the gut in the beginning. Like, just one sentence will have a characterization of a character.
Yeah.
And you're like, ow.
I'm excited. I want to watch it so fucking bad.
Yeah.
I want to watch it with
I
my mom.
see-
Try to
why-
watch it on the biggest screen you can.
Okay. I mean,
do not compromise.
that's why I watched it at my parents' house because
Yeah.
they got a full
It's
setup,
okay.
so.
Not being in the biggest screen. But yeah, it'd be fun. In the end, I think the end makes more sense than the big screen. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, I'm excited. Speaking of movies, and maybe to get it back into RPGs a little bit, I have two movie things, and one of them actually goes into the list. Mouse Guard. So you guys know what Mouse Guard is, right?
Yeah.
He
So
does.
It's like a
I'm
so
aware of
it's a comic. It's a graphic novel. It's like Redwall, but if instead one, it only focused on the mice, and two, it was more like Game of Thrones, like A Song of Ice and Fire than it was. Like it's a lot bleaker. It's a lot more grim. I like it a lot more than Redwall personally, but they were gonna make a movie. And they even had a trailer and everything. Got canned. I'm
What?
very sad. I am very sad.
Because it was like indie, really hard indie or something?
no, I have no idea why. Because the trailer came out in like 2019 and people were pumped for it, and then no one heard about it, and then
Yes.
it might have been
A lot of
COVID,
projects
probably.
got canned.
Yeah.
That
it might
sucks.
have been
Yeah,
very bad timing.
yeah.
a
that's a good
lot of
point.
projects. Tigtone, 2019.
Yep.
No, what? There was gonna be more Tigtone?
Oh, most certainly. It certainly would have been.
Well, even if it wasn't, it was at the time where everyone had to scale back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And anticipation.
I want that Mouse Guard movie so bad. The Mouse Guard RPG kicks fucking ass.
Yeah.
It's based on Burning Wheel because Luke Crane wrote it.
But it's not that
Um,
like YA novel of a mouse. That
It
has
is not a YA novel.
Okay.
Redwall is a YA novel.
was
Mouse
a-
Guard is not a YA novel.
There was one of them that was like a kid's novel that was like a mouse that was a musketeer.
like Redwall. Oh, Despero?
Despero.
Oh,
Despero
yeah.
was fine.
I
yeah.
love Despero as a kid.
It's kind of it's in the same Mouse Guard's in the same vein.
It's
as
like,
Redwall
but it's like
and Despero.
mouse, right?
Yeah. Mouse.
MAUS.
Oh no.
No,
No.
I also read all of those in school.
I've been wanting to
I
get
read the
that.
Book Thief.
Have you not read
I
them?
didn't read it.
Book
Mouse?
Thief's alright. I found Book Thief.
I
Whoa, Book Thief. Found the
Book
book.
Thief.
I read the Book
I
Thief.
found the Book Thief. Hard to get into. But Mouse was really good.
I bought into it.
I think it was the opening chapters are very like the writing is really it's good, but it's hard to get into.
Yeah.
I'm coming
I was
at the
too
YA
young. I think
angle,
I was
so-
too young to really appreciate it. You're coming. What?
I'm coming at the YA angle, so I don't know what's going on with you
Book
guys.
Thief is YA.
Yeah, it is.
It's just, it's written in a
okay,
bizarre...
you're talking about I thought you were talking about Mouse Guard.
No, Mouse is a... So Mouse Guard is YA, kind of, in the same way that Redwall is, because Redwall will describe gore and stuff in the books, but then it's like, Mouse Guard is like, yeah, this mouse has like a fucking claw mark across it, and dude's lost his eye, and like all this crazy shit. Now here he is like beheading like something with an axe, like in full panel glory and shit, and it's...
It's a comic?
Yeah, it's a comic. It's
Yeah.
good as fuck, but
You have
The point is that-
physical copies of that?
I have the first physical copy. I
We'll
have
have to read it.
Fall. I'm rereading it.
Oh, okay.
So I will.
Yes,
I
get
will
in
as
line.
Yeah,
well,
sorry.
as I read them, they're
Sorry.
short. As I read them, I'll give them to you. But
Okay.
so Luke Crane, Burning Wheel.
Whoa, he's real.
Yeah, he's real. He's a real guy. Luke Crane, Burning Wheel, Torchbearer, Mouse Guard was the thing he wrote after Torchbearer. So it
Wow.
was kind of like, or maybe it was the other way around. Either way,
Talented.
it was based on Burning Wheel and stuff like that, and it's set up into GM and like player turns in a weird sort of way. But basically, what it does is the GM goes, "Hey, you're the Mouse Guard. You keep the mouse territories together. Here's the problem. Here's some of the tests you can make to fix the problem. You go and do that. You fix the problem. You have your turn where you heal up and roleplay with people, and then there's another problem." It's like Torchbearer, but it's like a lot tighter and a lot lighter. It's actually intended, ironically, even though it uses Burning Wheel as its engine, it's intended to be like a Babby's first RPG sort of thing. But I have it. I got the second edition a couple days ago. And besides Hunter, that's probably one of the things I'm gonna do a session or two of, because that's another thing that's really easy to buy in. Yeah, like you're the Watchers on the Wall of mice. You know, go and you know, save mice people save the mice because you're a good-hearted mouse who is committed to the cause.
What if you're a
Go do
rat?
it. I don't
there rats in
remember.
this universe?
There are.
Are they good people?
It's been a long time since I've read Mouse Guard.
But you're reading now.
I'm rereading it now.
Okay.
So I don't have too many distinct memories of Mouse Guard, but one of my most distinct memories of it was there was a giant omnibus I was reading, and during the winter chapters, they have the pages normally, but then they have very cloudy sketch paper over each page with like snow print and stuff on it, so it
Cool.
looks like a raging snowstorm is coming over the page.
Ooh, I love that.
It's so cool. It's
Yeah.
so cool. And that's also, there's this whole thing where this guy named Selena, who uses like this big black axe, basically goes one-on-one with is it an owl? I don't remember if it's an owl or not. He goes one-on-one with a big bird of prey. And the most striking thing is there is this, because it was a big tome, and there was this entire spread of him just going basically like, yeah, remember me, and then just fucking like charging at this bird like covered in snow and shit. Oh, I remember that panel most of all, and everything that led up to it. It's so cool. But Mouse Guard,
cool.
I've been wanting to play more Burning Wheel, but Burning Wheel is hard to get a group together for. So I figured, hey, fuck it.
I
Mouse
thought you
Guard.
have your general group. They don't want to play Burning Wheel?
They definitely do want to play Burning Wheel. It's just that's not what we're doing right now. I kind of got to wait for it to swing back around, because it's not like this group where we kind of pick games and stick to them for a long time. It's really like a variety hour. Sometimes we play Hunter, sometimes we don't. And Mouse Guard is one of those that you can kind of jump in and jump out pretty easy of. So
Yeah. Cool.
yeah.
I've got some minis.
Yeah, what do you mean you have
I've got
some
Mouse
minis?
Guard minis.
I bought Casey Mouse
little
Guard
little
minis.
mouse innkeeper people.
Where are they?
Small.
They're in my car.
They're super small.
In your car? They're really small.
Yeah.
In
yeah,
your car?
I was like, that looks cool, and I got it. And I was like, these small.
That's so cool.
They're
I
so
didn't think
small.
they made I don't think they made minis for the game, because the game
Yeah.
doesn't use a grid or anything like that.
No,
I don't know.
these
It was at an RPG
Well,
store.
You're right. I think it's a third party miniature thing that they're making minis in the style
Like
for Mouse Guard.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool.
Yeah, we have
And I would
we
love
might
some
have the
of
box
those.
anymore, but it was from it was a nice mini box, so he could use it for other stuff too.
Yeah.
He mostly used it for other things.
You've got a lot of fucking minis, man. I'm looking at his mini shelf right now.
Most of his
Yeah.
minis were like before we even did anything.
Yeah.
I remember there is.
Most of them are not even like during.
I've got
we don't
like
buy minis all the time.
I remember seeing each one of those minis get used for different things. You know what I mean? I remember.
I definitely had minis
We
I've
mostly use
never
non
used.
D&D minis, like the space minis.
Well, the
every
official
time.
D&D minis are like after third edition. It just doesn't fucking matter anymore. Like, why would I buy any like official?
Well, we had like
minis
4
post third
aliens, and you're like,
edition?
those are orcs.
Yeah.
Hey, we
Yeah.
have orcs. I don't feel like getting them.
Yeah, as long as there's something representative on the map, that's all that really matters. But I remember that we were talking about that last time, that white dragon that you have that
We
is
just
like
used it.
super.
Didn't we just use that dragon?
Yeah, we used it pretty recently.
We just used that.
That's terrifying. In
I've killed that dragon about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, we just used that.
oh, you got your fucking the screen up there too.
Yep.
Are you doing anything with Risen Seas? Oh,
No.
You want to ask me a question I want to answer?
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I am. I'm writing other stories so I can learn how to go back and write Risen Seas.
I'm-
correctly.
As in no.
I'm glad you decided to keep that. I'm glad
Oh,
you
yeah.
decided to do something else for the stream because one, I really like what you're doing for the stream, but two, it's
way
like
more interesting. He was gonna make it too serious.
Oh yeah, that's what I got into my head.
it was going to be a
It was gonna be
Branderson
way
novel.
too serious.
It's going to feel like a Branderson novel.
Now, the last thing I did for Risen Seas was really trying to tackle the main protagonist and the magic she would be using, which was all weaving based, not weaving magic through the air, but actually like using knitwork to create symbols.
A crochet mancer.
Yeah, crochet mancer. That's a yeah, that's basically yeah. Which I still have a good concept for it, but I can't find any way. Like I've described it to several people, and they're like, "Oh, I get what you're talking about," but yeah, I've got no idea how that we could actually visualize that
Well, it's
physically.
It's
Right.
weaving of
Right.
like weaving of fate. That's where it kind of comes from.
Like a
In
Hercules.
a way,
Specifically,
won't cut.
specifically, yeah.
in a
Yeah.
way, but it has more to do with abusing the nature of circles. I don't know.
True.
That's Risen Seas is my beautiful nightmare. So I mean, I wrote about 60,000 words for it, and it
Usable,
was not a pizza. It was all the pizza parts still, and I'm like, these are
Right.
really nice looking parts, and I've got no idea how
That
to cook
is
this pizza.
exactly how I fucking feel about track marks. I am very close to the finish line. I just need some example content and I'm done.
Yeah.
And that's something that I have most of it done. I just need to actually sit down and hammer the final text out. It's too far gone now at this point for me to think about changing anything. But it is one of those things where I was like, man, I do like all these parts. These are all very pretty. And it's even coming down to like, I don't know if you feel this way with some of the stuff you make for games. But it's like, I have all these ideas and I pump out all this cool stuff. This is so cool. I love looking at it. This is great. Am I ever going to use it? No.
Yep.
You know, do you feel similarly with Risen Seas, or maybe are you less cynical about it than I am about track marks?
I mean, I just see it as it's a monumental task for me to write the way that I would want, that I would be satisfied to write it. Which is why I've jumped into trying to write other stories that seem more manageable until I find out they have completely different problems
I mean,
that I have to tackle in a new way.
It's a good idea for you to try to write some other things first.
Risen Seas, I went so far into world building that it is detrimental.
Yep.
The thing
I know
is,
that,
it's
yeah.
still not far enough. I know for building that world the way that I would really want to see it, which is why now I'm trying to write a historical fiction. I'm not doing any world building; it's all there. It just takes a lot more research.
Hangman's Tale.
I know. So, which is, Will said he's very excited for that. He'd love to talk to you about that.
Yeah,
By the way,
I'd love for there to be something in it that was exciting.
I mean, he could
people.
probably give you a lot of
True. With what you've written so far, yeah.
he could probably
Yeah.
give you a lot of ideas because he's
Historian.
he is a historian.
Oh, okay,
he's going for his master's currently, and then he's going for his PhD.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
so
is
he'll probably
a
love to
historian.
because
Oh,
he'll
absolutely.
get more excited with his stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, fucking 100%.
that'd
Yeah,
help.
we should get y'all together. I mean, I've been meaning to do more because with Plug and Plover stuff, the Plug cast or whatever the fuck I'm gonna call it, I'm gonna have Will on, and Will's been trying to do the Caravan cast for a while, so eventually all our paths will cross. I just hope it's sooner rather than later.
What's
'cause
Caravan Cast?
So he has a blog called Caravan Crawl,
Ah.
which caravancrawl.com. .com?
Dot.
Let me
look
double
it
check.
up.
Yeah, his shit's good.
Cool.
Uh,
Look into it.
he is probably the like, yeah, he's very knowledgeable about RPGs, extremely so. He's a lot more into OSR theory and stuff like I was for a very long time.
Uh-huh.
He has some really, really cool insights. He's trying to do this game where there's this, so there's all these supplements he likes. One of them is Witchburner by Luka Rajek. He loves UVG, like Ultraviolet Grasslands by Luka Rajek. And then he did Witchburner, which was like his big first one. And then he did, I forget what it's called, but most recently it was one about like, it's like a wintry sandbox.
Yeah.
And there's another RPG. It's an indie RPG. It has a really long, weird name, like do not let us die in the cold of this dark night or something like that.
Oh.
And his idea is to stitch together all three of those. We were recently talking about that when we got coffee last, and I am like, dude, I'm fucking there if you ever run it. Like, he's a genius.
Yeah.
He does a lot of cool RPG shit, and I'd love for sounds like you two should get together for that in particular, for your Black Plague story.
I mean, I mean, actually, one of the earliest stories I tried to write was historical fiction, but then Assassin's Creed 2 ruined it because I was gonna. it was all about plague doctors, and I did a ton of research, like middle school, freshman year. No one had any awareness of plague doctors aside from very specific movies that were like made in the 70s or 80s that might have featured them coming into a scene or whatnot. And I'm like, oh, I'm so excited about... A lot of times it's me getting really excited about the history and realizing people don't know about this. And I can compose something that feels so fresh and new from it.
So fresh and so clean.
And then Assassin's Creed 2 came out, and I had my character costume, and I worked for Halloween, and people were just like, dude, Assassin's Creed! And I'm like,
fuck.
This is ruined. So I also didn't know how to write dialogue at all at the time, which was hilarious, because now I'm the opposite. I went so headfirst into dialogue that and now I have a problem with actually writing constructive paragraphs that flow into dialogue and out from it.
It's so hard to like... I feel like I've been wanting to write a lot of like track marks vignettes because it's a world that I've been inhabiting in my brain for a very long time. And it's hard to think of things that would like flow together in that way.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. Like you can think of all the story beats and all of the stuff that you want, and all the scenes and all the stuff you want, but then it's like, okay, well, how do I write that out in a compelling way? And then you sit down to do it, and it's like a bunch of disparate short stories almost.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of Risen Seas as well, one of the main things is I constantly... It's centered all around some very pivotal, awesome, visually action-packed moments that I just wanted to get to write. And I wrote those. But without it being grounded in the slower pacing parts of things, it just felt superficial. It didn't carry weight.
I think
with
that
it.
is a good way to do it, though, is to write the stuff that you're most interested in writing first.
It can be.
And kind of weld it together.
It can be, unless you... There's competing arguments for that. A lot of them agree with you. Another one I've read is the thing is, if you write the stuff that you're excited about, then you're never going to write the rest of it.
That's why last episode we were talking about one of the main reasons I don't really do creative writing anymore. And one of those is I would write the outline, or I would like think about what I want to do, and I do think of the important scenes, and I'm like, that's all I need.
Yeah.
I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
So no, that is absolutely true. There is that other school of thought.
And so with this story that I'm working on, it's not action focused at all. It's entirely personal narrative. And so that's really me trying to force myself into a different challenge of, okay, there's a few scenes where, yeah, some people might be getting hurt and whatnot. But that's not the focus.
Right.
The focus is on the commentary leading up and around and twisted through it. So it's a much different story for me to try to write. But my writing is improving.
I have no doubt.
I can see it improving.
That feels good. That's good.
Other
feeling.
people can see it improving. I gave something to Emily the other day, and she's like, holy crap, when did you start writing like this? This is nothing like the garbage you were writing before.
Direct quote, like
not direct quote, but that's really what she was saying. Because I've handed her some stuff before that I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for you to see this, and it's got all these parts. And she's reading through it, and she's like, okay, I see that happen, but I really don't understand where this is happening, or who's doing what, or why I care. And I'm like, damn, you're right.
Hey, improve. The fact that you can visibly see improvement is the best.
You want to
part of it.
Yeah. Well,
maybe you should write about the sword that doesn't want to be used.
The what?
Oh, the sword that doesn't want to be used. Yeah, yeah. I did want to write that for that part for Risen Seas. Yeah. Well, a lot of it also is having to get distance from my stories so that I can come back and go, why was I making this a problem? It's my a lot of times I've seen people on writing forums where they're like, I need help. I've done this and this, and now I've done these things, and I realize this character has to die. And I can't have this character die because then there's no more story. I don't know what to do.
Right.
And I'm like, you're the one that wrote it. The problem is what you've created the problem.
Right.
It's very easy as a writer because I've done it several times. And I'm not a writer because I haven't finished writing anything, but
True.
I'm trying.
Untrue. No, that's true.
But usually, anytime that I come back, whatever the problem was, I realize it's not a problem because if I just did this instead, it completely takes the story. Yeah, it takes the story in a different way than I originally held to. You get too solidified with your original image. Mm-hmm. And it's been much more comfortable just allowing a story to grow when I come back to it and go, oh, I was doing all this stuff that, yeah, it pulls off the cool things that I want, but is it really meaningful?
You're like making your own problems.
Yeah.
And that's what's so, like, I know Stephen King just literally, like, almost stream of consciousness just kind of writes through it all. And
Yeah.
I know that that's like an unrealistic standard to hold yourself to, but at the same time, it's like, I understand why that works for him because he's not creating problems for himself. He's just letting the text direct him where he goes. But at the same time, he's not writing historical fiction.
No.
He's just writing, he's not even writing necessarily like compelling personal narrative. That sort of happens.
Yeah,
he's talking about, it's a monster of the week thing that I'm writing around.
I read his book
basically.
on writing. It is not helpful for anyone but
It's
him.
not. No, it's not. I enjoyed the book and I picked up a couple things, but there's a reason why I do not write. It's funny. I like the fact that I can still technically tell people that I'm a professional writer.
Yeah, you are.
Because
you
I do.
are.
I write for a living, and I can go up and I can tell people that, and get hella fucking like
I mean, in a Zen idea, you're always a writer.
Yeah.
As also a technical writer myself,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill
Yeah.
you.
I'd love to hear Matt's
I'd love to
perspective.
hear what makes you a technical writer. I'd love to hear how you're better than me.
I technically
He's technically right all the time.
I technically write. I technically write.
He's technically right all the time.
So when I
I'm
get
technically right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're fucking writing down like, oh, I need to take this note. All I have is a Sharpie and a napkin.
cardboard. It's cardboard.
Yeah.
4 left-handed screwdrivers, 3 wire stretchers. Yes.
A wire stretcher,
I
there's
am a
no
writer.
fucking way that exists. Bullshit that a wire stretcher
Left-handed
exists.
screwdrivers. You never
That's like
use.
headlight.
How the hell else
Yo,
are you gonna
left-handed screwdriver? That's a headlight fluid.
How are you
shit,
going to
motherfucker.
stretch your wire, Jimmy?
You don't stretch the wire. You get more wire.
Wow,
Wow.
dude.
Fetch me my breastplate stretcher.
When I call the supply house, they are at bated breath hearing what I'm about to say.
They're like, oh man, what is it this
You're
week?
gonna call me like, this motherfucker I know doesn't think a wire stretcher exists.
I say, hey, can I get sales? Perfect. Get to them. What do you need? No one has that. No one has that. They waited bated breath for me. And when I show up, they go, fuck, he actually walked in. What a bastard.
Dude,
I have to
the
see
dude's
his
actually
face.
buying shit. This guy sucks.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
funny.
a technically writer.
Yeah, you're a technically writer.
I would say so.
You're technically a writer.
I kind of cheat because, as long as I'm reading, I'm writing.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Is that's what my whole point with the shit that I forgot is that everyone's a writer. Like
Yeah.
you can to say that I'm not a writer. Yeah, it's like, dog, you wrote down your to-do list today, didn't you?
Yeah.
Congratulations, you were using the medium of writing to convey
Well,
something.
but not only that, when you're
No.
when you're talking about some gossip and conveying it to someone else, every single piece of human interaction is a narrative.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even with how you compose a grocery list, there's a narrative to it.
There is.
You're
Yeah.
placing some importance over others.
Here's how
Yeah.
that narrative goes. Right, a grocery list. I'm like, all right, I know exactly how this is going to go. I'm going to walk into the grocery store. I'm going to get nothing that's on the list. Instead of walking around the outside of the store, I'm going to walk through the middle aisles. I'm going to see the big double pint of the Dryer's ice cream. I'm going to buy 3 of those.
Well,
Then-
that's because your list
Feeling called out, man? Depends. Depends on
the week.
what?
I'm 0 to 100.
Damn straight.
Either I don't have it for months or I do have it.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I'm
They
sorry.
know,
What?
they know me.
Finish your thought.
Oh, well, I was saying the grocery list is like it comes from the Platonic forms. It's the ideal of what you would buy, but it is not based. It is not based in reality.
That's beautiful. Man, fucking Socrates over here. Like,
Oh,
no.
damn.
Platonic because it's Plato.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's not
never mind.
Platonic. It's a Platoist.
Yes,
Because Platonic is has a it's completely different.
Platonic is when you're,
Well, in
you're
that-
jerking your bro off just because you're
No,
you
yeah,
don't need it.
no.
you
Oh,
know?
you're right.
You
It
need
is technically different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because tonic would mean
It's a more
platonic
natural.
Platonic,
It's more
Platonic is
natural
when you're
to
kissing
say.
your homies just because you appreciate
I
them.
just read the dialogue that it came from.
Yeah.
That's
Phaedrus. It's where it comes from.
That rocks.
It's great. But yeah, you kissing your homies goodnight.
Kissing your homies goodnight. That's Platonic.
Yeah.
Plato kissed his homies goodnight.
Dude, Socrates did dude, if you so we should talk about Plato. They should totally read the Symposium in high school because it's a 7 dialogue of different describing of love. And then Alcibiades walks in describing how Socrates is this monster of a lover and how he describes being with him in a couch and how this guy is like a dynamite lover.
Yeah.
Wait,
In Plato dialogue.
Plato's a dynamite lover or a...
No, because Plato's describing something.
I love the idea that Plato is like teaching his class and this guy walks in is like, do not listen to this motherfucker about anything about love. We had sex last
No,
night.
Plato-
Worst
No,
sex I've ever had.
No.
It's actually deeper than that.
It's
yeah.
deeper than that.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
Plato's describing how he describes things like what Ben and I talk about is that he describes a situation of the idea in order to help explain it.
Right.
So in his dialogue is, hey, Socrates and a whole bunch of people are going to talk about love. Everyone talks about love, including Socrates, and then Alcibiades, a sore lover, talks about how awesome Socrates is and how he's a playboy.
Yeah.
And how he's a monster not monster in bed, but a monster cuddler. And he talks about like this is like I should show you the passage. but
I
it's
want
like,
to see this passage for reasons.
it's like
I want to see
it's
it
like
badly.
damn, this is steamy, and this is Plato's dialogue
Fuck yes.
as translated.
But
God,
then
that
but then it
rocks.
gets better. It gets better for the part that Matt hasn't explained, which is the impending physical violence.
Oh, Alcibiades loves Socrates so much. He knows he has another lover he's looking for because he kind of like got over Alcibiades. And so when he shows up, Socrates, because Plato's nothing to do with it. He's just this is him writing it. But Socrates is like, can Alcibiades leave? He's gonna fight me. And Alcibiades constantly in the dialogue describes loving Socrates so much he wants to fight him.
That's
And Socrates
beautiful.
constantly says, can you kick Alcibiades out? Because he's going to fight me.
God, I can't.
And it's
That is so romantic.
in other dialogues, Socrates would be talking to someone so abruptly that someone is going to be like, yes, I would agree with you if I was going to fight you. And Socrates respond, if you keep talking like that, I will run away.
Or run away.
Yeah, dude, the old Greeks, man, in the philosophy in it is fascinating. Because love is this, love is a muse, which is a pure thing that we need to get back to. Love is this, love is that. And then Alcibiades in the dialogue busts in and says, everyone needs to be drinking right now. Everyone needs to be drinking.
Ooh, I like him,
Socrates
yeah.
can never be drunk. I've tried to drink past Socrates, cannot do it. He describes
Wow.
Socrates as taking unlimited amount of alcohol.
God,
And then he
living in-
says, Socrates is dynamite lover. He's the only person I love. And I see, Socrates, you have another man that you love right now, but I'm jealous of it. And I will punch you in the face because I'm jealous of it. And Socrates goes, he will punch me in the face. Can he leave?
I know he will. I know him well enough. He's
And
gonna
then-
kick
and
my
And
ass.
everyone else is like, no, he's cool. We're here to
Agathon-
talk. And he's
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
you're not getting the picture.
He will fight.
Please get rid of him.
Yes.
Or I'm going to have to
And
run.
then Agathon, who is
I'm
is
very
the lover,
uncomfortable.
Agathon is like, no, Alcibiades is awesome because Alcibiades is like the jock that everybody loves, no matter how because later he betrays Sparta, he betrays Athens a couple times, but
Oh,
people
damn.
love him,
Yeah.
absolutely love him, and just fucking like Socrates in the middle of dialogue going, he will punch me in the face. Can he leave?
Can
and
he
then
please
everybody
leave?
loves Alcibiades so much they say no, we want to drink with him.
No, you're gonna have to take that punch
They
in
should
the
be
face.
taught in high school.
Yeah,
because
it
the,
should be.
the
It
one
should be.
dialogue that says
There should be a
Socrates is a monster of a lover.
There should be a Taika
It's
Waititi
amazing
film
dialogue.
of Socrates,
amazing.
which is just all the actual like high-strung interactions around the philosopher.
Oh my God! Yeah, different time where he's like debating so hard, where someone's like, "I'm gonna fight you if you keep on this dialogue," and he goes, "I will run away if you keep going on it. I just want to talk to you."
Which one was the one who ended his arguments by fighting? Was it Plato? Was it
No,
someone else?
Plato got his name from being a wrestler.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah,
see. Okay.
that's it.
Socrates was in the military.
That makes sense.
They all were because it was Greece.
Yeah, because it was Greece. That's just how
Socrates
that
also
worked.
believed that nothing should be written down. We only know about that because of Plato.
Yeah, because it
He
degrades
believed
your
that-
mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he believed that education was more about what we're doing through dialogue, and writing it down was a bastardization of how to
Hey,
learn.
whoa. Are you saying this is now an educational podcast? No.
No.
Why are we not an educational
'Cause I
podcast?
don't know. I am a very basic idea of any philosophy. I am just finishing the dialogues of Plato.
I learn a
Doesn't mean I know
lot
it.
whenever I'm chatting with you guys about myself,
Fuck!
about each other, and about the things we're talking about.
Shit.
Thus, it's educational. It's
Thank you,
educational.
crowd.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
You can thank me when this exact episode is being played in your school, and you're like an elementary schooler, and you get to rejoice as your health teacher is forced to play an audio clip of a grown man saying "fuck."
We're not Europe. They can say that. We can't. That's what. A lot of people like.
I want to read this. You need to send it to me for reasons. I also can't wait
I'm almost done with it.
to
It's very
go
short.
to my boyfriend and be like, "I love you so much. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you."
It was not seen as a good thing. Socrates
I know.
was not happy.
But-
I was like, damn, this is serious.
But the thing is, what I see, having not read it, just having it conveyed from Matt, which is how I learn a whole lot about philosophy. I just
Same.
go and talk
Yeah,
to Matt.
same,
Matt's
yeah.
like, I don't know any of this. I'm like, that sounds like the most philosopher thing I've ever heard. Keep on talking, my dude.
Keep going.
But like if all these different dialogues of trying to define love and then having a last finishing piece, which is showing love in action.
That could be
Love
one
through
way.
aggression or through passion in a manner.
That's true.
I'm
That's one way. No, it's intentional. This is not supposed to be historical.
Yeah.
Plato is writing this
Yeah.
of the past.
Yeah.
I see.
Absolutely, Plato has all of his dialogues have reasons. If someone says something, it is because there's a reason for it.
I see.
Plato
okay.
was extremely specific about what he does. Like when he talks about like the famous one is not Euripides, not Phaedo, but there's one about it's the thing is like is something good because God says so or because it is good and thus then God will do it because it's good. That's a very famous one. And that one, everything that happens to it is very important. The guy who, because it's specifically of someone who is usurping his father killed his servant. And so, not Euripides, it's the wrong term. It's, I forgot how you pronounce
Well, so it's
it.
like it's kind of like it's constructed as like a dialectic in a way.
He's about to go on trial, and it's right about where Socrates is going to do his final death trial, which is the trial of Socrates. And he describes, he goes, hey, I'm a priest, and I'm going to have my father jailed because he killed a servant. And at the time, it wasn't a thing because, you keep with your family.
Right.
And so the whole dialogue is something good because God says so, or it is good and thus God does it?
That is a very interesting
It's
conversation.
it's one of the most famous ones.
Oh shit! I gotta read more fucking philosophy.
They're
Yeah.
way more easily.
I do too.
After I'm done reading Neuromancer, hit me some fucking.
I'm finishing
books.
I'm finishing
I'm done
Plato.
reading my fucking junk food cyberpunk book.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I agree with Casey when he talks about how fiction has a better way of conveying, because it's what Plato does.
Yeah.
He's doing a fictional dialogue of something that may have happened.
And to pull it all back,
Yes.
same thing with role playing games.
Yeah.
We've talked about that before,
Uh-huh.
where it's like you're able to pose hypotheticals, and in role playing games, interactive hypotheticals you wouldn't otherwise be able to interact with and learn things.
I've
about.
always tried to do that when I DMing, which is probably preventing me from doing a lot of it. because I've always tried to go beyond of like what is something, which usually comes out to why do the guards don't give a shit about anything?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not what I meant.
That's not the point. Yeah.
I'm still waiting to use that exact town.
Which town? My town.
Yeah, guards that don't care about anything and everyone's on pogo sticks.
Because that's true to life. Not the.
I'm sorry. Where do the pogo sticks come in?
Someone's flying in the air, and I was like,
It's about the ups and downs of life.
well, the whole thing, which I probably said before, which is that the players showed up not giving a shit about what I was going to play, and so I was feeling the same energy.
I made a character
You did.
I cared about.
No one else cared.
Everyone described him as a trash bag, so I became a meme.
Yes,
That sucks when you make a character and
I'm
it gets
like,
relegated
I'm going to play a
meme hood.
Nothic, but I'm not going to play an evil Nothic. I'm going to play a Nothic that's so insane that he's actually trying to do good.
Which
But I'm going to
I
play a
thought
Nothic in a way that he's just going to be completely just enshrouded in wraps of dark clothing and stuff so that people can't know he's a Nothic. They just sort of see his eyes peeking out from this hood.
Right,
And
it's
so everyone's
trash
like,
bag.
oh, so you're playing a trash bag.
He's playing a trash bag. And then there was a duck, and then there was
A spoon.
A spoon.
A spoon.
And thus, this is where Pentiment came from.
Yep.
I see.
Yeah.
It's
Which
beautiful.
is me saying, well, if you guys are this, that means there's already been this before. Thus, everything has been done.
That was the best. Is the I am a psionic spoon and I'm this amazing spoon, and Matt going, okay, great. First interaction, there's 800 of you, and
You're not
you're
special.
basically just trash that nobody wants to deal with
There's
anymore.
bargain bins. I had a bargain bin of other sentient spoons.
That is fucked up. That is like psychotic.
And then I had,
It was an adventure of personal attacks against us,
Yes.
and we loved every bit of
and
it.
then they went to I was like, okay, you guys are gonna actually do missions. And they're like, fine. So there's a board. Hey, let's do stuff. And then the guy walks and goes, hey, you guys look like adventurers. I got to get into this house. Can you help me? And so they broke into someone's house, and I described them as just taking furniture.
yeah. He's like, hey,
stealing
thanks, and he
furniture.
just starts robbing the house.
Was this
and we're
Legend of
like,
the Five Rings?
no,
Okay.
Much
No, this
before
was-
then.
I think this was
Way before. I've had run many things after that. Many things. That was before I even tried to do
It wasn't
it.
Pathfinder.
Nope.
No, it was. I think it was 5th edition.
It was
early 5th edition.
Early 5th edition.
When we were like, okay, cool, 5th edition. Let's use all the homebrew we can.
Yeah, fuck me. Every time I try to do anything, everyone wants to do different editions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it was like, hey, let's break into a house because who gives a shit? And then, then the rest of it was just like, fuck you.
yeah.
And Pentiment was from that,
Yeah.
which everything closed into this book that made no sense.
Yeah.
It was a world within a world, which a guy holds around his hip.
In a suitcase.
And
That's
for
so
some reason,
cool.
4 years or something later, Casey was like, hey, you know how that thing you just said, hey, fuck you players? Well, I'm going to do the same thing.
Well, I'm gonna do the same
And
thing.
I was like, why? Why would you think that's a good
because
idea?
I loved the first adventure being, the adventurers show up into town and there's a whole lot of other adventures, so there's all this ruckus and they're like, we gotta make a name for ourselves. And they do a whole quest to go to a dungeon and find out it's already been dealt with.
That's fucking
Yeah,
amazing.
that was the con game.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, actually, the con game was more straightforward because that was actually it was the team of adventurers that ended up doing the whole thing and getting the success. It was a very standard narrative.
Yes, you're talking
Yeah.
about afterwards.
The first episode with Pentiment
true.
was everyone being aware of that game happening, but these
didn't know
characters
it.
being sent to go and collect the thing that's already been taken by
But they
the
didn't
last
know at the
adventurers.
time.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the end was you were at the same dungeon and they go, oh shit. And it's already closed up because
Yeah.
the trap's been set.
And so instead, they show up right when another adventuring party already showed up and is like, yeah, it's already taken. Oh, but while we're here, you guys look like crap. We're way better than you are. And that was enough. That was enough to set up the whole arc. Have NPCs start insulting the players, and the players will do a better job of it every time.
That's fucking
True.
awesome.
Yeah, and now they have this whole rapport.
Yeah, it's
It's
great.
incredible how much we recycle from within our own games and our own canons.
I didn't do that. Casey decided to bring this about.
This
It
this is how
absolutely will do.
instrumental Matt is. I spend an hour and a half coming up with like 8 different pun-based book titles, and I come to him and I'm like, "What do you think of these book titles?" And he's like, "That's good, but nobody poops."
Nobody poops.
And that was the one that anchored the whole session. As soon as
'cause
I
you
threw out
started
nobody
with it.
poops,
Well, like
everyone's-
like in a Gygaxian naturalism, like where do people poop in the dungeon sort of way?
No, it was a fact because
No.
it was written by concoctians who don't poop. So it was actually writing about their superiority because they don't have to defecate like everyone else.
Yeah, but you did the
That's
ox
amazing.
one.
Yeah, I also did the ox.
Ox in the
but
meantime.
nobody poops was still that was
Wasn't
the
that
zinger.
the first one, though?
That was the first one, and that was the zinger.
Yeah, because it was the first one.
Yeah.
They didn't know what you were doing yet.
Now they know.
They don't. They still absolutely don't. They're getting really honed in though.
Yeah.
Like we said, if we bring it back to the whole banana necromancer, did not expect them to understand that.
Yeah.
Completely blindsided. I was listening to him like, damn, Grant got it.
On
we
the
didn't
nose.
you never said anything of the sort.
No, I said like there is this burnt carbon material that's sort of sweet smelling, and someone got a really good perception check or investigation. So I'm like, the closest thing is sort of bananas. And then they also used detect magic and picked up stuff for necromancy.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't until they got in the road and they saw the banana peel that Grant then went,
Banana necromancer.
banana necromancer. And then I'm like, damn it, he beat me to the punchline before I did. Well, here, the banana necromancer immediately shows up.
You now that you've solved all the mystery, fine. Here it is. Find it. Like, fuck
They
it.
have no idea.
They've got no idea.
They have no idea. And I was like, hey, Casey, here's a cool idea. Hey, it's me, a banana man.
Yeah, he just gave me. He just started doing a voice, and I'm like, I have to do that.
Yeah, like it's me, banana man. What if your flesh can be ripped off from you?
Yeah.
Like a banana.
Yeah. What if? Yeah.
What if I peel you like a banana?
Yeah.
Yes.
What if there was a guy that became emperor with tons of magical power, and within 2 weeks, everyone wanted him gone? Like no political factions, just no. We all agree this guy's got to go.
Because your flesh.
Now, what would do that? What would do that? But something as stupid as everything's now bananas. Now the problem with everything being bananas is everything is now bananas.
yeah.
It was a horrid time that everyone forgets.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
That does sound well when you put it that way. It certainly doesn't sound very whimscal.
No,
anymore.
it's not. It's horrifying.
It's horrifying.
You imagine your flesh coming from your bones.
You can overdose on potassium.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's wild.
It was good.
It's so clever. I love how clever that fucking game.
Players
is.
have been great.
Yeah.
From a distance, I've noticed the players have been great.
Yeah.
I like the players. Because early on, I was like, I don't know how much we got to really bump them up, and then
Oh,
now it's like,
It was
good.
It was that one and What the Dog Doing, a animal handling book.
What the dog
Yes.
doing?
It was an animal care guide book that was written from way too far away to be of any help.
Yes. I was like, what's the dog
Too
doing?
Far away.
Yeah.
Like the person's writing the book is observing a
so
dog
like
from
a
down the
naturalist
street.
that's writing everything about dogs,
What
but
the
from
dog-
100
what
yards
the dog
away.
doing?
Because the dog was very violent.
Yeah.
And that was Casey's thing.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I was like, I really want my one of the players to confront their childhood dog and then have to fight him.
That's like they had a horrible experience with a child.
Yeah,
Yes,
dog.
they
yeah,
did
they
that.
stumble on
That
this
was last session.
the dog, and I'm like, you recognize this is your childhood dog. You know, the one that your parents said ran away to a better place.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
shit.
Grant's supposed to be the
That's
naive
sad.
character.
Yeah.
And he plays that way, too.
He is, except he's always the one that figures out the system.
He does.
It's because he's looking in all the right places.
But then, yeah, when he told me that, because
Which
you
is all
really
the
want to
wrong
use the
places.
dog, then it was, well, let's say, what's the dog doing? A naturalist guide very far away.
Yeah. But then it was also me recognizing,
doing?
all right, I've done this. Oh, crap. The players don't want to actually hurt a dog. So I need to describe it in a manner so that they're hurting the evil surrounding the dog while the dog is still just a dog
that's
on
a
the
wholesome
inside.
way to do it.
It was very wholesome because that's not how the monster works.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't. No,
Uh,
you had to get close enough and it attacks you.
Yeah. Yeah, it
That's
was
all
a
it
monster that literally is supposed to look like an animal that is begging for someone to do an animal handling check, and as soon as you get in proximity, it becomes huge.
Yeah, it's like
and
a
starts
dog that
killing people.
hurt
So
its
the
leg.
one time you ever get to use an animal handling check and it's fucked.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a dog that got his foot stuck in a trap.
Yeah.
Like the Disney 90s movie, you walk up and then it grows twice its size.
It's small and it turns to huge.
Yeah, and then it kills you.
Yeah.
Some lady in the Not Lady and the Tramp. To your shit. Completely wrong movie. Continue.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so.
But like that's an RPG. Can you imagine that?
I sure can. And that's what's so great about RPGs is that, if your players are too pussy to kill a dog,
They
then you
killed
can
it.
pretend that you're killing its shadow.
One of my favorite things was the sign warning Lonely Mountain.
Yes.
They're going through. I had them go through several trials on a road, and they come upon a sign that says "Warning, Lonely Mountain," and then I put it's in the middle of this mountain pass. There's a giant rock in the middle of the road blocking their cart from being able to go through. So it's built intentionally for someone to go, all right, I'll go up there and do an athletics check and move the rock. Well, as soon as you do that, the rock hugs back. And is like, oh my God, I needed a hug for so long.
Oh, so it's a pun off of hugging the cliff
but
face
then
and hugging
all
the
the
rock.
other rocks up the mountain hear this and are like, we want hugs too, creating a rock slide that buries the player.
Casey wanted to do an
fucking
avalanche,
rules.
and then we talked about, well, what if it wants to hug you?
Yeah.
God, that is just genius. That is
Sure,
just utter
we'll
genius.
call it that.
And the thing is, how the characters are built, they were in no danger the entire time.
They ended up being very smart.
But yeah, because they're immediately like, okay, I'm like, this is by the rules, 300 feet long, 150 feet wide, 30 feet tall. And they're like, okay, we're going to use our telekinetic point to lift the cart 30 feet up. So immediately
Done.
they got right over it.
Oh, God
And
damn it.
But from then on, it was surfing this cart as it's rolling, as rocks are still bouncing up and hitting against it.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
I like that.
they had it under control the
Well,
whole
because
time.
we didn't know the solution.
Yeah.
We just figured they would survive it.
Yeah.
The players found the solution,
Yeah,
clearly.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Look, you're the GM is the problems guy. They're not the
Yeah.
solutions guy.
yeah, that's what mostly it's been lately. Well, in the beginning, we had to build solutions because we didn't know what they would. We had to understand how they do
Right,
it.
yeah,
But
'cause you
now
didn't
it's
know how
just
they were
like,
gonna act,
what if we
yeah.
do this? And then they go, what's the solution? We don't know. This would be fun, wouldn't it be? What if we choke them out? That's it. We just choke them. And they're like, holy shit, what are we going to do? And we're like, this would be fun. What if we just choke them?
Well, like the trap that, by all of its wordage and the signs around it, looks like you have to pour.
Plus Simon
You have
says.
to, you have to harm yourself
that was you.
to give up blood to be able to pass.
Yes,
but
you were there.
Literally,
when
I
we
was
did
there.
that.
yeah,
for that,
literally
yeah,
by the
yeah.
wording, it's just any liquid. So of course the players end up peeing.
Man,
into it.
that's another problem solved with piss.
That's the best kind. Yep.
It is the best kind of problem. I mean, I feel like people should just more problems should be solved. With
You want to end it with piss?
I think we should end it with piss.
All right.
Oh wow, yeah, we're kind of over time.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it the whole time.
All right. Well, that was questions 2 and 3. We'll
Oh, we
get
gotta
back
write the
to
rest
you
of 'em.
for- oh, nice.
Piss
The
play.
only thing I didn't do was the cheese dice update, which is I did receive them. I did
Oh.
not get scammed,
Oh.
but they are shitty.
How
The
small are
numbers
they?
aren't even colored in. They're normal sized. I was promised these dice that look like baked little cheeses, but
Yeah?
instead they're all one color that could barely be called yellow.
Nice.
There's like hole patterns in them to kind of make them look like cheese, and the numbers aren't colored in. Which I'll take it because the alternative was I didn't receive the dice and my identity got stolen. So
Which
both
both could happen.
Yeah.
that's also true. So never mind, I might not still be in the clear.
Yeah, I would say both is.
What a cheesy way to end it. That pisses me off.